Hey budget gardeners, Vita Loca here. Join me today as we prune and propagate my Montauk Daisy. So let's go. I made a previous video that gives you more of an in-depth plant profile when it comes to Montauk Daisy. If you missed it, please check it out in the description below. Today's video is really just going to focus on the best time to prune your Montauk Daisy and how to go about propagating those cuttings. You want to prune your Montauk Daisy about twice a year, once during the spring months and another time during the early summer months. For me, I like to prune it sometime around the end of April and then again early June. If you don't prune your Montauk Daisy, it's going to become very leggy, and when it blooms, it's going to flop right over. And it's such a pretty plant, and if you don't prune it, it's not going to look as pretty. So it really makes sense to prune it. And as a bonus, after you're done pruning, don't throw those cuttings away. Go ahead and try to create more plants. Who doesn't love free plants? You only need a few things to do this project. You need something sharp to cut. I like to use pruners. Just make sure you've sterilized them. When it comes to sterilizing my tools, I like to sterilize them using rubbing alcohol. And if you are going to propagate your cuttings, then you're going to need some sort of a potting mix. I like to just use potting mix that I make myself. I'll put a link down in the description of a DIY potting mix that I like to make. But you can use whatever potting mix you have on hand. The key is make sure that your potting mix is well draining. And then you need a pot that has drainage holes in the bottom of it. And when it comes to how far to cut it back, it doesn't need to be exact. I like to cut it back about 8 to 10 inches above soil level, somewhere in that ballpark. The big thing is I wouldn't recommend cutting it all the way down to the ground. I also definitely would not recommend just leaving it as is. You want to cut it back to a certain nice level that you will enjoy, and just know that you're going to be coming back again later in the summer and cutting it back one more time. In this flower bed, I have a total of 4 Montauk Daisies. I'm only going to show you my process for cutting back one of them, but I plan on coming back in here and pruning all 4 of them back. And you better believe it, I'll be taking cuttings from all of them and potting them up. You can see here that these are very long, very leggy looking pieces. They don't look good. We're going to cut them right back down, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to do it. You can see there's a lot of unsightly growth at the top. And this is a very leggy looking plant right now. So we're just going to go ahead and we're going to go after it and we're going to cut it back. The big thing I like to do though is when I do cut it back, I want to make sure I'm cutting it just above a leaf node, just so it looks a little bit tidier. So let's go ahead and we're going to start cutting. And like I mentioned, if you don't have time or you don't care to take the cuttings and propagate your plants, you don't have to do that. The main thing is just make sure you are pruning back your plant here because you want it to look tidy, you want it to look clean for the season. Another thing that's good to do is just come back in, and if there are any leaves that don't look good from last season, go ahead and remove those as well. We're basically cleaning up the plant so it looks nicer for the growing season. And that's all I'm going to be doing when it comes to this plant in terms of pruning it. The only other thing left to do with the plant itself is I'm going to be sprinkling a little fertilizer at the base of this plant. I like to put 10-10-10 down, and I'm going to sprinkle it just at the base and scratch it in. After that, I'm going to water the fertilizer in. I want you to look at this cutting right here. You can see that there is some growth at the bottom. And as we follow it up, there's some old leaves here. Let's go ahead and just remove the leaves off of this just to clean up this cutting. When it comes to the size of the cutting, it really is up to you how big or how small you want to make your cuttings. I actually like the size of this cutting. I think it's a nice size cutting. And I know that at the top, some of it I could also cut back. So I'm going to go ahead and just trim the top off a little bit because you can see that's just last year's old growth. And this step is not necessary. I just want to do it just to clean it up. When it comes to really any cutting that you ever take, including Montauk Daisy, you want to make sure that you have at least 1 or 2 leaf nodes that are below soil level. And what I mean by that is anywhere where you see a leaf coming out, that's called a leaf node. And what we're going to do is we're just going to remove some of the leaves off the bottom where they're coming out. And we're basically opening it up so that roots can be created down where the leaf nodes are. You can take off a few more. These ones are smaller. And then you also want to make sure that you have some leaves that are on the top. So at a minimum, I would recommend at least 2 leaf nodes that should be below soil level and at least 2 or 3 leaf nodes that are above soil level. Whether or not anything happens up here, time will tell. It's still quite early in the season, so things are just waking up. When it comes to this one here, you can see that we can remove this off the bottom and this one. And another thing you can do to ensure that you get this to root is you can go ahead and take your pruners and just nick the bottom of it to basically wound it or to open it up a little. So I could take this and just scratch it like that. We'll do it to our other cutting as well. And that just tells the plant, that just ensures that it should be able to root down in this area. If you wanted, you could also dip the bottom end into rooting hormone. I've had a lot of success rooting this plant without rooting hormone, but if you want to ensure that you have success with rooting these plants, go ahead and dip them slightly into some rooting hormone. I'm going to go ahead and snip off the top off this plant also. And we have 2 very nice cuttings here. I'm going to finish the process with the rest of the plants that we have down there, and then I'll show you what the next steps are. I want you to notice on this one here, I don't see any green. There are no leaves that are green on this. So it's not even worth trying to root this one. This is obviously a cutting that I took, and it's just a dead old piece. There's nothing good on here. It will never root. So I'm going to throw this away, put this in my compost pile. When it comes to cuttings, it can be very confusing as you take many of them to know, which way is up, which way is down. At least with Montauk daisies, I want you to notice, see how the leaves are facing upwards? That's how I know that this is the bottom and that is the top. Other tricks that you can do when it comes to cuttings of any kind is when you take your cuttings, you can make a straight cut on the bottom, and on the top you can make a slanted cut. And then all the pieces that have the slanted cuts would be the top, and all the pieces that have the straight cuts would be the bottom. I like to reuse pots. Why not recycle when we can? Again, make sure that your pot has drainage holes in it. I prefer to use taller pots when it comes to rooting lots of my plants, just because I don't want the plants to dry out. That is very important. When it comes to rooting plants, you don't want them to be too wet, you don't want them to be too dry. So let's go ahead and we're going to fill this with pre-moistened potting mix that I made. And I'm just going to go like this to push out any air pockets that might be inside of my pot. And now I'm going to take each of my cuttings, which we've cleaned up, and I can just push them into the potting mix. Remember, you want them the right side up, and you want some leaves to be above soil level. I prefer to put each of my cuttings on the outside of the pot. It'll make it a lot easier when it comes time to divide them. I don't want them all bunched together. And I'm just pressing them in. And I can always press down a little bit in between just to make sure that they are secure. Even though the soil is pre-moistened, I can give this a small drink of water, but you don't want to overwater it. I plan on keeping this pot as well as the additional pots that I'm going to put together here on my porch. I don't want this to be in direct sunlight. It needs to recover, and it needs to put its energy into creating roots at this point. In about 2 weeks or so, I should start seeing roots. Whenever you take cuttings of plants, it's definitely important to just let the plants be. You don't want to be tugging and checking on them to see if roots have been created. And if you really are curious, then maybe you should be planting your cuttings in a clear cup or a clear pot. That way you can see if the roots have been formed. I like to wait at least 2 weeks when it comes to Montauk daisies, And if anything, I can always check the bottom to see if roots are being formed. I'll make sure that the soil is not drying out, and when I give it water, I'm just going to give it a small drink of water. Once I know roots have been formed, at that point I can go ahead and pot each of these cuttings into their own individual pots. I have a long flower bed on the south side of my house, and I want to tuck in a whole bunch of Montauk daisies in that flower bed. So be on the lookout for a future update video when I show you how these cuttings have done and then my process for getting them planted out in the landscape. A common question that comes up is, do I add a humidity dome? I don't, but you can do that if you want. It would probably increase your success rate. I've been pretty successful without having to add a humidity dome. Last year I took a number of cuttings for Montauk Daisy, and I sold a bunch of them in my backyard plant nursery. I have 3 that were left over, and a big tree had fallen on some of them, so they fell over a little bit and broke. But I want to take you in for a closer look. We're going to empty them out of these pots, and I want to show you what kind of roots were created over 1 year. With this one here, I've decided, because there's such a big gap here, I'm probably just going to cut it, and I'm going to try to root it right in the same pot, just because I might as well. But let's go ahead and empty it out of the pot. And check it out, it has quite the root system going on there. So we're going to pot it back up, and we're going to plant it so it's this deep. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to cut it right here, and we'll go ahead and try to see if we can root it. I'll make sure I scrape the bottom of it, and I'm going to just keep this in the shady area with my other cuttings. I love always trying different things and experimenting. I think that's the beauty of gardening. And like I mentioned, I can't wait to create a nice border of these plants in my long border bed, because in that bed I know I have a lot of color spring and into the summer, but come late summer into the fall, there's not as much color. The only main color that's in there is the Rebecca or Black-Eyed Susan. And how pretty would this look along with the Rebecca? So we're going to go ahead and we're going to cut it right here. And I'm not sure if this is going to root, so again, it's part of an experiment. This piece right here is bending and it's quite tender, but you never know. And we're just going to put it in like that. And don't worry, I'll give you an update on this, probably in the next month. Here's one of the ones that kind of broke. So again, we're going to take it, we're going to cut it, and we're going to try to root this piece, just because there is some growth still at the top. And I'm only taking it out of the pot just to show you what the roots look like after 1 year of having taken the cuttings. And this definitely made a nice plant here as well. You can see it has great roots, and it's trying to push out some more growth at the base there, right down over here. So we're going to go ahead and we're just going to clean this up a little bit. For being a perennial, Montauk Daisy can be quite expensive in the fall time. So if you can get your hands even on one plant and then propagate it to create more plants, then that one-time investment for that plant is worth it. And I think that's true for a lot of plants in our yard. So we're going to tuck this back in. And even though these plants were in my backyard plant nursery, they were there as a temporary holding spot, because for this year I'm not planning to sell Montauk Daisy. I want to create more plants so I can beautify my own yard with these plants. With this guy right here, I am going to actually cut it right here and try to root this piece like that. And I'm trying to nick the bottom of it, but when they're this skinny, it's not that easy. And we'll tuck that one in. All of these are, at this point, an experiment. It's kind of sad. Again, some sort of a tree fell on these. It happens, so we are going to see what we can do to fix this one. With this poor guy, regardless of whether or not it has roots on it, it does not look good because of the damage that happened to it. But that's all right. We're going to see what we can do. Clean it up a little. And I'm actually, because it's such a long piece, I'm just going to cut it right here. And I'm going to put both of them in the pot and let's see what happens. And there is a small piece here that has growth at the base. So we're just going to tuck all of them into that pot. Fill this up with our potting mix. We'll tuck that one in right there. We have this piece that has some roots on it. Just trying to be gentle and pushing the roots in. And then we can go ahead and just backfill around that piece. This little guy, well, I'm excited. There's possibility here of getting multiple cuttings in this pot when the plant did not look good in the nursery. We'll just tuck him in there and we'll put that one in there. And fingers crossed. I still have plenty more cuttings to take. Right now, these are in the sun. I'm going to move them into the corner of my porch where they're in the shade, and I'll just baby them for a number of weeks. I'd love to know, do you have Montauk Daisy in your yard? And if not, are you planning to get it later this summer? Drop a comment down in the comment section below. I'll be sure to give you an update on how these plants do over the next few months. And until the next video, make it a great day with gardening.